Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we are doing episode 3 of our estate hunting series. This time, the inspection. But first, in an estate pipe, this time a Briar Lee Goodfellow. See if you can see the carving on that. I did a Parsimonious Pipes episode on this a while back. Good smoker. I have got some Esoterica Stonehaven. It's probably the only Esoterica I've had so far that I really say I like quite a bit. Still not good enough for me to chase it. Well, let's dive in. Whether you are looking for a high-end pipe or a bargain basement, whether you are intending to buy, even in the bargain range, a pipe that has been already refurbished, restored, cleaned up, polished, etc. for you, or whether you intend to be willing to put in some of that elbow grease yourself, there are some things that you want to look at. And some of this may seem obvious, but it's easy to forget. So, for example, does the pipe have any cracks in it? Cracks are sometimes obvious. Sometimes they're just hairlines. They're easier to see if you're examining an estate pipe in person, but I think most of our estate purchases are done online. A little harder to get to. I'll repeat this frequently. Never be afraid to ask a seller for more pictures if you are purchasing online, regardless of whether you're on Etsy, eBay, or a website selling directly, Broom Briars. Ask them to give you some more pictures so that you can examine the pipe better before you buy it. So cracks are an obvious thing to look at. Sometimes cracks are not obvious to see, though. Sometimes they originate inside the bowl. Make sure you have pictures inside the bowl, or that you're looking there when you're examining a pipe in person. Now, you've seen pipes with repair bands. What does that mean? That means that there can be cracks along the stem. Sometimes those are not visible because the cracks are not on the outside. Make sure that you take the stem apart and take a look. Are there any cracks where the joint is? If you're buying online, ask if they aren't already posted, ask the seller to post pictures with the stem disassembled so that you can see the joint. Again, may sound obvious, it's easy to forget. You see a really pretty pipe that it's just the one that you want. A couple of other things, chips in the surface. If there are any scratches or chips, whether they're on the rim or on the bowl, you have to decide, how much does that mean to you? Is it important to you that you have a flawless pipe, or do small chips and things like that not really worry you all that much? Something that may worry you more, look for signs of burnout. Dark spots, whether they're actually black circles or just darker areas of a stain on a bowl, can mean impending burnout. Now, in order to tell, you really have to be able to see inside the bowl to see if there is any wood damage to the briar that you can detect by looking. Not always easy if you're buying online. But yeah, there are some telltale signs of burnout, and again, it may not stop you from buying a pipe, but it might drive your price down. Softy bits. If a pipe that you are interested in has a softy bit on the stem, why? Ask the seller to remove it and send pictures. Could be hiding a whole lot of teeth chatter or even a hole in the stem. If the seller won't or can't remove the softy bit, Another good reason to think twice. A poorly fitting stem. Now, this is one that you will only find out when you hold a pipe in person. It's really difficult to get a seller to say, oh yeah, the stem's loose, or oh, I can barely get the stem in there, it's too tight. Either direction, a poorly fitting stem could indicate that the stem is a replacement, not an original. That isn't quite as important if your pipe that you're looking for doesn't have stamping on it. If it does, or is supposed to and doesn't, the stem may not be an original. Again, that may only be important if you're planning to get a pipe that as part of a collection. If what you're looking for is a smoking pipe and the stem fits, it doesn't matter if it's a replacement. If it doesn't fit, it's not going to smoke well, period. Always, when you're buying online, always ask for any pictures that are missing that you feel like you need to see before you can make a decision to buy a pipe. Ask for pictures inside the bowl. Ask for pictures from all sides, all angles of the pipe. You want to see, are there dark spots for burnout? Are there cracks? Are there deep scratches? Are there any other flaws that might make me not want to buy this pipe? And again, ask for pictures of the stem disassembled. Period. Just do. Now, if they won't post those pictures, does that mean you don't buy the pipe? Well, that's entirely up to you. There have been only a couple of times when I have bought a pipe anyway, when a seller wouldn't post further pictures. And that was when the shape was just rare enough that even if it turned out I couldn't smoke it, I wanted it in my collection. But that's pretty rare for me. If a seller is not willing to either send me or post more pictures of the pipe, most of the time that's a deal killer. Now, something you can do, of course, is to look at the seller's reputation. If you're on Etsy or eBay, has the store been around a while? Do they sell a lot of pipes? What is their average rating? Those kinds of questions give you a better indicator of what it is that you're dealing with in terms of a vendor. Piece of advice, regardless, your first purchase from a vendor shouldn't be a $1,000 pipe. Feel them out with something disposable if you're going to buy a high-end pipe from them or are interested in it, and see how their customer service goes, see how they package it, see how quickly it arrives. Because unless you have had someone recommend that seller to you, you have no idea what's going on there. All right, very quickly, let me run through a few examples. First up is an example of, it is important to look for stamping. Very nice looking pipe, right? This is a pipe by Lee, a 3-star, bent billiard, brandyish. Let's take a closer look at this. If you look there, you can just barely see the stars. This was stamped. A pipe by Lee is worthless if the stars are not visible. That means that the stem has either been overbuffed or it is a replacement. In both cases, I will not buy one. This one, however, I had them send some close-up pictures, and I was just able to see the stars. Next up, this very nice-looking billiard. Billiard Dublin. It's canted a little, maybe it's a Dublin. Very nice looking, right? Well, let's take another look. First shot is what you might see as a sales pick. Looks like that stem might be just a little clocked. Ask them for another angle. Sure enough, that stem is underclocked. Now, that's not really a big deal if you know how to correct the poor clocking or angle of a stem, particularly these screw-in types. You heat it up, you get the glue soft, you twist it, let the glue set, see if it's in the right place. Not very difficult, but something that you really should look for. Okay, let's take a look at a rim. Here we have a small Dublin. Nice little pipe. Take a closer look. Now you can see there's lava on the rim. That's not necessarily the worst of it. There are also some dings. The rim there is really chewed up. Now I have to decide, am I going to just take off the lava and leave the dings? Am I going to top this one and make the pipe shorter? Am I going to bevel the outside edge? I don't know yet. I haven't done it. The first thing I will do is just remove the lava and see where it goes. Now this pipe had a further surprise. As I took the stem out, this stinger was actually not stuck into the stem. It was jammed up inside the stummel. I had no idea this had a stinger until I tried to run a pipe cleaner through it and it wouldn't go. Oh boy. Then I looked down in there and sure enough, that stinger, and it was stuck. I was able to find a screwdriver that fit the slot on the end of that, and I twisted it. See that slot? I twisted it just enough to free it and pop it out. You never know, even with the stem that fits well, you might have some surprises inside. Be prepared for them. Okay, really bad rim. Nice looking little Briar Lee stroller. Let's take a look at how messed up that rim is. Whoo boy. This was an early one that I bought, and I still haven't fixed it up because I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. As you can see, this has so much charring on the left side of the pipe, at least as you're smoking it, that the rim is very much narrowed at the top. I am not sure whether I am just going to leave it that way, how much room I've got to top it. If I can take it down a little bit and put a flat top on it, that might look better. I just don't know. But I didn't catch this one in the pictures. Buyer beware. Okay, one more. You've seen this one before. It's a Briar Lee. It's one of those squat bulldog, bull moose, bull cap type pipes. Really pretty. This was one of the ones where I learned, make sure that you ask for pictures of the stem disassembled, because this one just spins. That's right. The glue on the inside of the vulcanite has dried, cracked, whatever. It is broken loose, and that just spins. Now I can get it off. If I pull outward, there's enough tension that I can get it off. But that little bugger just spins. So what I'm gonna have to do, I gotta figure out, how do I set that with glue and have it clocked correctly? Because I can't get this out of the stem either. It's just, it doesn't want to move. Okay. So ask to see the stem taken apart. It's no brainer. So there are some warnings from some of the examples that I have purchased. Now, except for this rim, none of these flaws would have kept me from buying that pipe and fixing it up. That one's going to be a challenge. That's why I've left it. I'm going to have to be really bored in order to tackle that one. And I've just got enough pipes that need a lot less work to keep me busy for a while. If you have any questions about things to avoid, things to look for, leave them down below. I will try to answer them either in the comment section or in another video. With that, my pipe has gone out because I have been talking. I'm going to get this lit. Light something you like. Get out there and find that pipe of your dreams. Enjoy your afternoon.